Welcome to my no bullshit Tariq guide for Fellowship. Tariq is a melee damage dealer that uses the power of thunder and his pure fury to destroy his enemies. He's tanky, very versatile and offers huge DPS, both in single target and AoE situations. I will cover everything you need to reach even the highest difficulty in the game. Talent builds, DPS rotations, the best gear and general tips for efficient and fun gameplay. Now, let's dive straight in. First, let's talk about our general playstyle. It's the classic pump and dump warrior gameplay with a few extra steps. You use abilities to build up fury, which is shown as a red bar next to your character. Then you use spenders to do either huge single target or area of effect damage. There's also a swing timer, which shows you when your next auto attack will happen. If you press heavy strike when the timer is in the red area, your auto attack will be empowered, which means more damage and more fury. But watch out, if you press any other ability after heavy strike is queued up, it will cancel it. Ideally you want to press it at the very end of the red area, just before it resets. Your spenders Hammer Storm and Skull Crusher reset your swing timer, while other abilities don't affect it. Your goal is to maximize your heavy strike usage while fitting in other abilities before the timer resets. This makes Tariq feel a bit awkward to play at the start, but you get the hang of it pretty fast. And it's not the end of the world if you miss some heavy strikes here and there. Before I talk about the DPS priority, let's talk talents. You can get up to 13 talent points. I have 3 builds for you to get you started. The first one is at 6 points. Then this one at 10 when you reach the Champion League. And finally the full 13 points build. The talent Far Beyond Driven is kinda flexible. You can also opt into some of the defensive talents to be more safe or use High Road for more mobility. If you found that useful so far, make sure to subscribe to my channel for future guides and videos. Now let's take a look at our DPS priority list without the spenders. Use Thunder Call, Chain Lightning and Focused Wrath on cooldown. Leap Smash into all enemies, Heavy Strike, Face Breaker and Wild Swing. This priority list will do decent damage and generate fury. You don't want to overcap though, and that's where our spenders come into play. If there are only 1 or 2 targets alive, use Skull Crusher. And if there are more targets, use Hammer Storm. And keep in mind that these abilities reset your swing timer. Ideally you want to use them just after your Heavy Strike. Then there's Culling Strike, which is your execute ability. It doesn't affect your swing timer and is only usable on targets below 30% health. Use that only on 1 or 2 targets and not in AoE situations. Lastly, we have our ultimate, Raging Tempest. You leap to an area, do massive damage and get an enhanced version of your Thunder Call buff. Use that during big pulls or in boss fights. Now let's take a look at our weapon of choice. I highly suggest the Fateful Basher because the unused effect does decent damage and reduces the cooldowns of all our other abilities. This means more overall usage of our cooldowns, which means more damage. The other weapons are also decent, but your end goal should be the Fateful Basher, and use the weapon ability always on cooldown. At Champion tier, your weapons will get talent trees, which are randomized. Ideally you want to get talents that increase your crit chance. Visions of Grandeur is an awesome epic tier talent which you should aim for. In the late game you also have access to 3 different legendaries. You want to use Drape of the Slayer King Cloak because it's a huge DPS boost both in single and multi-target situations. The legendaries are pretty rare though, so use any you can get until you loot the cloak. Now let's talk openers. Your single target opener looks like this. Use Focused Wrath before the pull and queue up your Heavy Strike. Walk in and hit it. Use Thunder Call into your weapon ability. Leaping Smash, Chain Lightning, Heavy Strike and spam Skull Crusher. Then continue with your normal priority list. Your multi-target opener looks like this. Use Focused Wrath before the pull and queue up your Heavy Strike. Walk in and hit it. Use Thunder Call into your weapon ability, Leaping Smash to hit all enemies, Chain Lightning, Heavy Strike and spam Hammer Storm. From there, continue with your priority list. How should you use your cooldowns? Basically, zuk zuk. Send them when they're up. One of the biggest mistakes you can do as a DPS player is to hold your cooldowns for too long. You want to get the most uses out of every dungeon. This also applies to your ultimate ability. While you don't want to waste it on a very small pull, it's better to use it 2 times during a dungeon than only once. If in doubt, send your cooldowns. I would only hold them if the pack is almost dead anyways, or you have a very small pull and you know that a big pull will follow after. Alright, we know how to do damage now, but how do we keep ourselves alive? If you're in danger, use Unbreakable Will to reduce incoming damage. It has a low cooldown and should be used frequently. Just make sure to use it preemptively to mitigate incoming damage instead of using it when you're at 5% HP. Better safe than sorry, and don't forget, a dead Tariq does 0 damage. Now let's take a look at our gear and stat priority. Most of the time, a higher item level item with more strength will be better than your lower item level gear. Otherwise, you want to prioritize crit, haste, expertise, and spirit. You will notice that there are items which provide set bonuses. These are incredibly strong, so always try and aim to get as many set bonuses as possible. Especially the capstone dungeon sets are very powerful. Later on in the game, your gear might come with socket slots. Prioritize amethyst for the crit chance. All gems are useful though, so feel free to test around otherwise. When it comes to relics, try to get the Sin Binding Stone for the extra damage reduction on demand. For the second one, you can be flexible depending on what your team needs. I run a Grim War of Resurrection to revive a teammate during a boss fight, but a lot of them are useful. Okay, it's time to talk about interrupts. Your pummel interrupts a spell. This is extremely important in the higher difficulty dungeons. While zugzugging is fun, being dead isn't. So always make sure to prioritize an important interrupt. You also have the Intimidate ability, which is an AoE fear around you. This can also be used as an emergency interrupt if pummel is on cooldown. Alright, we know how to attack and defend. Now, how do we apply that in real dungeons? Here are some tips. Number 1. Always set an interrupt target. This changes the nameplate color of the mob you want to interrupt, so the casts are easier to track. It also shows your interrupt cooldown to your whole party, so you can rotate interrupts and know when it's your turn. To enable that, open your settings and scroll down in the gameplay menu. Assign a keybind to set interrupt target and check mouse over set interrupt target. That way you don't have to click a mob to set your interrupt target, you can just hover over it and press the button. Then make sure to keybind trigger interrupt target. This way you can hit and target one mob and still interrupt your interrupt target without clicking it. Speaking of keybinding, number 2. Make sure to change your keybinds so every ability is easy to reach. You really don't want to click your abilities in the endgame. Right-click any button and then click on Set Slot Keybind to assign a new key to it. Number 3. The default UI is pretty good, but you want information to be more centered, so you can react faster. Press U to open the UI settings and change it as you like. You can get my UI import string on my Discord. The link is in the description. Number 4. Keep yourself alive. Sometimes it's easy to tunnel vision the DPS moment and forget to dodge stuff on the ground or interrupt. Don't do that. Number 5. Communicate with your team. No matter if it's with randoms or with a pre-mate. Having an interrupt rotation or spreading out ultimates can be the difference between timing and not timing a dungeon. You can also alt-click your abilities to automatically announce in chat if your ability is ready or not. This is especially useful for your ultimate. And lastly, number 6 for big pulls. Wait for your tank to group up all the monsters in one big stack. Then pop your cooldowns and use your multi-target opener. If you use your cooldowns too early, you will miss out a lot of damage on the mobs that are further away. Did I miss anything important? If yes, let me know in the comments or tell me live on twitch.tv/NinoMMO. Thanks for watching, bye bye!